Alright guys, we are back. Game 3. It's basically a best of one at this point. Armadillo Armada versus Stellar Esports. I'm Silent Shadows, and I'm joined by Philly, ya boy, Dutchies. How you doing, Philly?
Oh, I'm alive, man. I'm excited to see a game three, actually.
Yeah, I saw this final and I was like, ooh, this is probably gonna be a good one. And hey, I wasn't wrong. I'm vindicated in my belief. My belief. Anyways, same band so far. Seuss and Circuit gone away. I'm interested to see if there is a Nemesis band though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If I'm Stellar, I'm either taking Nim or I'm banning her. Just kind of like we saw. Obviously, Armadillo changed what they wanted to do against the Soul, and it worked out for them that game. But I don't know. After game one, I'm still kind of shook by what Zombie did on Soul. So it's kind of going to come down to these P's and B's, I think.
Yeah, that definitely something that can happen. I mean, there's still so much to go through, so much to think about for these teams. Both trading out, both with really pretty convincing victories. I think Armadillo slightly less so, but I think that also happens to do with mostly Stellar misplays. I think Stellar really played pretty much perfectly throughout the mid late game, and the second game did not work out that way.
Absolutely. It kind of these opportunities kind of just fell in Armadillo's lap, and Valve and Cow were there to make sure that they got him, and they walked away with the victory. So
Yeah, I would definitely like to see something out of them taking a lot of time to choose with band. They're gonna go with the Ravana. It's gonna be banned away pretty succinctly. There's still a lot left on this table. See what they decide to go ahead and ban here. What would you ban if you were to decide here, Philly?
if I was Stellar right here, I don't know, man. I would still take away the Nemesis. She just does so much, and she's been such a pain in the ass for such a long time. I would take it away. Obviously, I don't think they're too worried about it. I think they are more worried about the Osiris, and that's kind of what we're seeing with them taking it away as well. But maybe they have a plan for Nemesis if they let it through. We'll see.
And they are gonna go ahead and ban Osiris. Still Terra up, still Fafnir up, still Bologna up. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't go for the ladder there and go for the soul lane pick. But no, it's gonna be the Terra.
Excited to see the Terror on the side of Armadillo. That's the first time they've had the opportunity to actually play it.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Stellar goes for the Soul again. They had mixed results. But I think Zombie played incredibly all three games on it. I think loss had really nothing to do with his performance, doing actually just disgusting amount of damage in team fights. But yeah, there's going to be the Bologna probably going over to Puckham, who does love that god. But no, it's going to be the
Ooh, the
Thoth
Thoth.
pickup. So Thoth has a bad early,
But an incredible mid and late game.
but a really good late game, and it's all about those final judgments, those ultimates coming out of Thoth. And if anyone can hit them, it's probably going to be Zombie.
Ooh, I like this. I love this from Armadillo. They've taken away the Terror from game one, and they've taken away the Soul from both games. I
Yeah,
would love to see Mike play a god that he is much more comfortable with.
yeah. And just see what they go for. I mean, I wouldn't expect them. I would expect them to go for something like a Sun Wukong here. Anything to try to pick up any kind of solo,
Yeah, the
but no, it's
CERN.
going to be the CERN instead. Mitchie played really well in that last game. They're going to go ahead and
Absolutely.
secure that.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would really like to see the Sun Wukong on the side of Armadillo Armada. Just that extra bit of CC to disrupt the Thoth, all of Thoth's abilities, just makes it that much more valuable. I think.
Yeah, Devil Hunter is finally going to be on the side of Armadillo Armada. It's been on side of Stellar both these last two games with the Soul. Interested to see what they go for here. They probably going to pick up an ADC. No, it's going to be the
Ooh, the
Fafnir.
Fafnir.
Yeah, Fafnir, Bologna, Thoth. A lot of CC in these team fights. And Thoth is really safe, can put out a lot of damage. And, I think Stellar is really going to focus this game on shoring up their front line and making sure they really position well in these team fights.
Absolutely. I think they're going to try and have a little bit more control in these fights, which is kind of what they were lacking in game two.
I definitely agree. Nem, immediately banned by Stellar. Not again.
Absolutely. Yeah. No salty run back. No, thank you.
Yo, let's go. I'm going to have to give you a warning, dude. Nightbot's scary. Nightbot's scary. I really, it's a great question. Why do we have Nightbot turned up onto 11? I think it's definitely just because we're picking on Blitzkov here.
Absolutely.
I mean, why else do we have the Hui banned away as the counter matchup to Cernunnos? No real surprise there. But I honestly expect Coco to go with the Apollo again. I think it's something that
Yeah.
he's got comfort on. He played really really well in it, and it allows him to kind of play really aggressively as he likes to do.
Absolutely, and his positioning from game 1 to game 2 with that extra mobility on Apollo was immediately noticeable.
Yeah, definitely got really really caught out in the Rama. I don't know how much of it is just comfort, how much of it is just unbridled aggression, but
Yeah.
Kelko playing a little bit like Zapman season 1, season 2, and definitely needs to have his team support him there.
Salmon season 1. What are we talking? Missing Uller access now?
Oh, we're talking about diving T2 level 2
Ooh,
with on her.
Armadillo gonna take away the Apollo. I like that call.
Yeah,
I think they're
definitely.
gonna try and take that comfort pick away and put Coco back on something that he might play too aggressive on. I
Yeah,
like that idea.
definitely a good band. I mean, there's still plenty of good ADCs to pick up. But yeah, I love this comp so
I
far from
love
Stellar.
Hunbat. Yeah, their comp is amazing.
I
They
mean,
have so much crowd control.
both these teams have glorious comps, but I spoke too soon.
Oh, Val, please.
As it seems like we're either getting trolled or cheesed.
That's a great bait, mate. 8 out of 8 from not a Val.
Hey, I saw a hell mid in my rank game today.
Did you win?
Yes.
Wow. You should count your blessings.
Well, I mean, they were the ones with the soul, so they were the ones
That's
with the
true.
hell, so wasn't too hard.
I love Morgan. I really would love to see Morgan play in one of these, especially with a Hunbats and a Thought.
I mean, Morgan.
Two great targets to steal ults.
Yeah, but where's that going? Is that going to the solo lane?
We're just getting baited by Valve, and I know it, but I would have loved to see a Morgan play.
Yeah, Valve plays 5 gods, and they're all warriors. That's what Valve plays. So,
and there's the Sun Wukong.
Yeah, no real surprise there. I mean, I think Morgan works quite well. I think the best time where you can play Morgan is when you have double Hoon bots.
Absolutely.
It's so gross. Like it's just
double Vulcan's fun too. Double Vulcan's a lot of
fun. Double Vulcan, yeah, but you need CC usually to make it work.
I'm not arguing that. Double Vulcan ult's gross.
Yeah, I could definitely. I mean, double anything can kind of be a little bit cheese, but I mean, definitely double Hoon bots is really what I think.
Ton of CC.
The best comp for Morgan. I mean, I did watch a scrim between a couple teams, and somebody ran Morgan, and they ran the double Hoonbot's ulti, and they didn't have any burst. Didn't matter. They just CC'd people today. They should CC'd people dead. Medusa the last pick, going for Coco the sub 4. Stellar eSports.
See, I like that. I like the Medusa pick out of Coco. Medusa feels really Apollo-esque in kind of how fluid she is when she moves, having that movement speed. And I think it'll give Coco a little bit of a better opportunity to still play aggressive and still play positioned well.
Yeah, what really worries me is this Naja, right? I mean,
yeah.
We talk about Naja on the back foot being bad, but you have Bologna ulti, Fafnir leap stun, and top of the ulti with more CC, Hoonbot's ulti, Medusa ulti, Thoth stun, and Thoth ultimate. I mean, Naja has so many ways to get completely dove in on and punished, and if they can pick off Cal, that's been the big carry in all these games for Armadillo Armada.
But I like the idea out of Cal though, because Naja kind of shits on Thoth when he's trying to ult. And I can see why they picked it. And honestly, from last week when we saw Cal play Naja, Cal played very well on Naja.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Cal can definitely pull it off. The big worry is if he gets caught right, that team fight's basically
absolutely.
Instantaneously over. And there's no way you're going to come back from that. You have to just completely disengage. And if you think you take the fight, you're going to get wiped.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I like the idea out of Cal, though. Like you said, it's not great into the composition. But at this point, if you have a comfort pick that you're willing to play and you excel at, I think that this is the game to take the opportunity, especially since you already have a very competent draft in your other 4 members of your comp.
Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely do agree with you there. The draft from both teams, I think, is quite good. The Naja is the only thing that you kind of look at. You just go like, it's a good pick. It's good into the Thoth, but it's just really high risk, high reward. And Cal has to be on point for basically the entirety of this game if it's going to work.
Absolutely.
If he makes a too aggressive a sash, punished immediately. If he doesn't get the ulti off, blink ultis in and just misses, dead immediately. He has to go in and he basically just has to catch zombie every time. He has one real target he has to go on.
And so I got a question for you, Simon. Same thing you asked me game 1. Based on compositions, who are you giving it to for game 3 right now?
I like Stellar's comp just a little bit more, and it's that risk reward we talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Soul Terra Cernos. I think that's absolutely disgusting, and I don't know how in the world they picked that off, but Fafnir, Hoonbot's Bologna is really scary too.
Oh, we got to talk about this. This is something Cal does every game he plays Naja. He always comes behind and gets the ring.
I've seen it from Cal. I've seen it in ranked. It's completely BS, and I don't know why it's allowed. She needed that extra bounce, by the way, on the ring bounce.
Oh yeah, that extra bounce that would have came up. Oof, delicious.
I think if there's anything that I might like, I think that's actually kind of a little bit frustrating about Naja is just the range of the bounce between players is kind of disgusting.
The clear Armadillo has in this mid is just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
the speed is going to be uncontested.
Yeah, they're going to be able to invade this. Should be uncontested, but there could be a counter invade. Puckham has cleared the wave and is going to go ahead and decide to push into these fire lilies, but actually the Oracles is what's going to be on the mind of Stellar Esports. They're going to pick that up for any other buffs.
Huge rebounds. This could be real bad.
Yeah, Puckham taken really low.
Forced to pot immediately and can't even look at his blue buff. The aggression out of the Armadillo Armada mid and jungle comp is very good. Stellar just now hitting 2 in the mid lane here.
Yeah, they're considerably behind, and they have to really worry about. I mean, this level 3 push could be really huge. Naja get second rank of ring bounce. They're gonna go ahead and secure their own speed. Both these mid camps are up. So definitely still farm available for Stellar, but definitely the weakness of Zoth is you're just gonna lose buffs.
Absolutely.
Station back in the middle. They have bought themselves some time to get this objectives, but here on the left side, Soul just going to clear out a wave because he just can't. But actually, no, he's going to get caught by Aggressive, taking so much damage. Dash in by the Medusa, trying to pick off Soul. One more auto will do it, and he will. Coco getting first blood. Aggressive being turned on by Matt Mitchie, but has nowhere near enough damage. And that's first blood over to Stellar Esports with a good duel.
Rotation out of the mid here. This could be real bad.
Sash is going to
just off the mark.
Yeah, ring bounce is going to land, but it's going to hit off some minions, and it's just nothing's really going to come with that rotation. And that's actually
sash.
Yeah, if he hit that sash, it'd be huge, but at the same time, you can see they're actually going to be able to buy themselves some time in middle lane and continue to get Thoth up to like around level 6-7 where he can actually start to clear waves.
Which is good. I like the idea of, hey, obviously they're not going to get anything. Let's get the farm and try and stay on par with the superior mid jungle combo.
Yeah, definitely something I think that's advantageous to them. But Coco definitely he has about level lead right now and getting poked out a little bit, but this lane is still really in their advantage. But Puckham finally getting the solo kill. Hasn't been able to get it all set onto Val, but he's a rotation. He does have his ultimate, though. He could just leap away, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
It's the only benefit of hitting 5 before the opposition.
Yeah, definitely. Fire Elemental's taken by Armadillo Armada, but just some extra farm off the map, and left lane is still dominated by Stellar Esports here.
I love this. They gave the opportunity for Zombie to actually catch up and just farm, and that's exactly what he did. He actually hit 5 before Mike did, and it's one of those things that I would really like to see this mid jungle aggression. I really wish they would dump more into Zombieland. I like the idea for them rotating to try and pick these kills up. Ooh, we see.
Yeah, it's
Aggressive diving deep.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to say like kind of what if. We ask it all the time. What if that sash had hit? I mean, possibly Coco just beads in time, but actually, Medusa, you can use an ulti. He's only going to clear the wave, not going to even catch Mitchie. Good stun by Soul to buy some time, but now he's going to be the next one to be turned on. The rotation has been made. There is the 4-man rotation. They need to back off his Stellar. Mitchie actually going to dash in, get a good route. Beads away by Coco, but Cow and Muratori are both 5. They're going to decide to go into aggressive. He's going to pop his ulti. He should get... Cow's not actually going to go for the ultimate. They're just stun on top of him, but Hunmas has made the rotation as well. Beads used by Cow. Try to buy some time. He's going to pick him up in the air, but Muratori, he's already dead. Soul trying to do as much work as he can, but Jabber is still alive. CC down, and Zombie with the final judgment picks him up. Aggressive still nice and alive in the dragon form, and I think this is at least an Oracle's take, possibly a Gold Fury.
Yeah, I think Oracle's is the right call. They may try to do both. Oh, Aggressive's got to be careful.
Aggressive's a little bit lit, but that's okay. You know, we can drink and play all at the same time. Puckham absolutely though is going to be dominating Valve in this game, in this solo lane after getting the solo kill, and just able to bully as Bologna. But that rotation in by Jabber was huge.
Huge. That ult was massive, and the final judgment out of Zombie was just very well timed, and it's just I'm really excited to see. Like honestly, like we had said in the draft, I think Stellar has the much better composition coming into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to Cow's second tree. I mean, he picks up a full health Jabberjaws. I mean, Jabber just comes down and just goes like, "Oh, I have 20% health. Okay, I'll leave now. I'll leave now." I mean, that's the real thing. Naja, if you don't have guaranteed follow up, Muratori was already dead. Soul ult was used, but it just wasn't used on top of the Naja ulti. And once again, the risk reward just does not pay dividends. And Zombie is somehow up against Muratori, which is kind of mind-blowing. Yeah, they're actually going to go in aggressive. There's the dash. Muratori taking a lot of damage by aggressive and Zombie. Forced to use December to get out Coco with the ulti, but... Oh, all right,
Coco,
fam.
You're feeling yourself.
Okay.
Coco, no.
Coco, no, he's dead. I'd be mad if I was his teammates there.
Oh, dude, I would F6 immediately. Get me out. I've got a feeder on my
Get
team.
me out. Valve being dove by Puckham. Just a couple more autos will do it. Puckham picks him up, but he's going to die to the tower.
Ooh.
No, he lives! No,
Eagles rally's good.
No, but if any kind of ring bounce hits him from Cow, and one will hit him, and Cow does pick up the return kill for his solo laner.
God, has to feel bad if you're Puckham, man. Especially that great solo kill just feels bad, man.
And the perfectly timed ult just to get out of the next shot. Well, either way, he's going to pick up the solo kill, continuing to put Valve pretty far behind.
And I think that's the goal with what they've drafted here. They're just going to try and put Wukong down, and there's no reason not to. Puckham's done a great job of doing just that. So if he can bully him the whole game, we might as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the real worry from Stellar. I mean, you have the one worry of the Naja just getting run down, but the other worry for Stellar is just Coco is playing a little lit, and he needs to not, just not.
Absolutely.
Just sit back, like farm, dude. Like if there's a good play, you can make it. But I mean, both ultis from him have not been on the mark, too far away, just not timed correctly, and just going for a little bit too much here.
Pretty good farming coming out of everybody here. Lots of vision again, just kind of like we've seen out of the early game for both of these teams. Lots of vision everywhere.
Yeah, Valve doing the serendipitous. Oh, I'm losing lane, and now I won't. Mark of the Vanguard start. Or no, so that's Puckham. That's Puckham. Excuse me, but Valve is getting completely blown up by Puckham. He's going to force to use the ultimate, one auto away from death, and Puckham's just so bullying him under this tower. And this is a real worry for Armadillo if they don't manage to get something off it. Sash is going to be off the mark again. Zombie able to just walk out of it, aggressive leaping over the wall. Once again, a little bit too, very aggressive, as his name does say, but he'll be able to walk out just fine.
I can't believe you made the aggressive pun. I was waiting to do it. So.
I mean, I held off for 2 games, but I mean, they took us to a game 3, so now I gotta make it. But the Sash onto Zombie, beads being made, but now Cow is taking a lot of damage in response, and he's taking quite low. Final Judgment being started, but not much. But there's Coco on the fight onto Mitchie. Terra's Blessing and the beats have been popped by Mitchie, gonna get him out. But that's a huge win for Coco, as long as he doesn't get rotated on.
And I think he's well aware of the potential rotation. He's just going to back off and group up with his team here.
The Gold Fury has been started. They know Cerninos can't actually rotate in. Fastmere has popped the ulti, but the strange thing is Muratori could come back in. They got to be really worried about that. Much CC from Souls. Aggressive taken very, very low. Stellar Esports does secure it. One traded for, but Coco can be picked up by Cal. There's the ultimate actually onto the other member as he's taken very, very low. Zombie trying to get away. Going to do the dash is successful. Not the stun though, and he's taken out by a Stellar Burst from Muratori. 2 for O trade, but the Gold Fury was taken.
I don't know. It started so promising, that Gold Fury call, and then as soon as you see the rotation there, honestly, if I'm Stellar, I'm okay with leashing that and resetting it. Because of a play just like that. Naja being able to get to the back is kind of what Naja is going to do, and he just does a ton of damage.
Yeah, and so much work was put in there by Soul. I mean, he got a 4-man root, double stun. and basically set up his team to give them time to make the rotation. If he wasn't there, that's just a free gold for you, and Stellar walks away.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say if Mike was not there, they would have been nothing out of that. Stellar would have walked away from it, and it would have been done.
Yeah, I mean, but still going back to these graphs, I mean, basically just 1,000 gold lead for Stellar. They're not looking at altogether too much, but I mean, both teams have really, really strong late games. I mean, I don't think that late game necessarily favors one or the other, though. I mean, it is worrisome if you do get in a situation where you're going to get solo. But Jabber making the rotation onto Valve, just going to force his ult once again, and poor Valve.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad if I'm Valve right now. It just feels like you're doing nothing but getting bullied the whole game, and Naja's been on the other side of the
Portal Demon started once again, and this is really the Stellar we saw game one. I mean, just forcing all the objectives, being the ones to start it, being the ones to secure it as well. As long as they don't drop it here, Ring Bounce is going to be there, and actually Armadillo steal it away. Huma's ult was used, but now Cow is going to get an ulti onto a carry. Puckham taken very, very low as well. Stellar Burst not going to land, but Mr. Zombie's running away for his life. Going to land the stun, but I mean, he's dead.
He's dead to rights.
Yeah, he's just going to get sashed and cleaned up away. Valve, though, is going to fall to the rotation by Jabberdaw's 1-for-1 trade, but it is a portal picked up by Armadillo. They're going to close this gold graph down to basically 0, and they're going to go for this middle.
Not much Soul can do about it, or not much Aggressive can actually do about it to stop it at this point.
No, Aggressive just throws a hammer, doesn't land, but it doesn't really matter either way. As Stellar Esports actually takes the very, very slight 100 gold lead. They're going to rotate around, possibly gank Coco, but he's decided that the base is the place for him.
I see good map awareness from Coco, just recognizing that rotation out. You know, obviously there's no reason to stay there unless you have to. I mean, this is what I was talking about with Cow. This is the comfort that Cow has on Naja, and he does a very good job of just spreading. And he literally 100 to 0 Zombie in the back, just completely, while the team fight was going on past Portal Demon. And
my big worry, right, is just looking at this, is that Stellar is just going to keep doing these objectives and just not get off of them. And while it does force fights, I mean, they could have just leashed it and just gone straight onto the fight and probably been able to at least win it, if not trade out. And there's no need to go so deep onto it. But the other worry is just Puckham is just abusing this lane.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they're not even rotating. They're just saying like, oh, Valve, do your best, son. So Doomorb Thoth, I hate it. What do you think?
Okay, as a mid laner, I love Doomorb as an item. As a mid laner with Doomorb, you need to be in the best positioning you can possibly have because you will be targeted the entire time.
Yeah, Puckham forced ult away. Cal is going to be looking for the ultimate, though. Is going to pick him up into the air as my camera swings around wildly. There's going to be Soul ult on top, and Puckham is dead to right. Toonbutt's ult on top, but there's not much Jabber can do besides die himself. Another lamb going to be falling, not just the sacrificial one, as they pick him up. Cal taking a good amount of poke from Zombie, but they'll be able to invade these buffs, and really, really good play by Armadillo. Once again, Cal able to do what he wants. If Stellar doesn't play aggressive and they allow Naja to initiate, they're just going to come over and take these towers afterwards.
Absolutely.
Cal onto Zombie, getting some damage off, but there's a final judgment actually going to be popped. It's going to be channel. It's going to miss, though. Zombie taken very low. There's the beast, but body block by Valve. Is looking for more damage is Cal, but Valve picks it up. Easy peasy. Leap in by aggressive. Is going to pick up the enemy jungler. It's a good trade even if he dies there. He's going to heal up with the bracer. Going to stun off the soul, and looks like he's going to walk away scot free. A cheeky little Dargan over there.
I love the call out of, honestly, I love this aggression that Armadillo is showing. They're doing a good job. Again, we're kind of seeing Stellar fall into this pit where they're trying to take these fights, but they start kind of split, and I mean, it just seems like they have the will to want to fight, but they're putting it in such weird spots.
I mean, it seems more so that they're just impatient, right? Like
Absolutely.
They're just not waiting to be grouped up in a good situation where they take the fight. They just kind of go in and take it, no matter what the situation is. And maybe it's something they just need to work on. Talk to their team about, hey, I mean, is this a fight we actually want to take, or are we just kind of messing around here?
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, is Coco the sub for
Coco
Stellar?
is the sub, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if Coco was the sub.
Yeah, Coco is the sub for Stellar Esports, as is Valve. Oracle's taken by Armadillo and Mata. So they're going to start this Gold Fury up, and Zombie's the only one here. He's got to be really, really careful by getting ulted by this Naja. Coco is here though. Sash is gonna miss out of Cow. As Zombie is gonna try to get some damage. There's gonna be a good ulti out of Medusa. As Cow's gonna try to chase in. There's Cher's Blessing to buy some more time. He's gonna get the ultimate. Is gonna pick it up. Just walking it in. Zombie is gonna try to look for the ultimate, but Coco is gonna get the Aegis off, but he's dead to anything else. Cow's stuck in a tree though. He's gonna get turned on by Jabber as Puckham is picked up on the other side of the map as Jabber though as well. Surrender vote coming out as aggressive falls. DSI as Stellar gets destroyed in that fight. And I have no idea how they got so completely bursted by just, I think, AoE from Matt and Mike.
And again, like I said, it's one of those things that it's not the best pick, but Cow is so fucking comfortable on this god. Every time he plays it, I honestly thoroughly enjoy watching him play Naja because it's one of those characters that it's either played super well or it's super poor. You know what I mean? There's a very high skill cap for Naja, and Cow just does a great job of just being on top of everything. And he's honestly, again, just like he did last game, him and Mike are swinging these fights. And if Mike had played a real mage last game, I don't see why they wouldn't have won, like why they wouldn't have won harder than they did in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing once again is Cal's basically just walking up and getting these ults absolutely for free. If I'm Stellar, I'm saying, if he walks up, we kill him. We just burn everything into him.
Blow everything on him and win the team.
Why in the world is this kid able to just walk up to them and they're just kind of letting it happen? I mean, Cal is just getting these free ultimates from point blank range and he's walking them down instead of, getting some kind of sash or blink off. And if Stellar can just punish him for doing some of these things, they might be able to turn these fights. But now Armadillo 4K up and they're in the driver's seat.
And look at that. Literally with this, Valve had been bullied the entire first 8 minutes of this game. He's now 3 levels up on Puckham.
Yeah, it's crazy what just a bunch of objectives and a D side do for you, huh?
Absolutely. It's, it just kind of shows that, honestly, I think Armadillo is playing immensely better this game than they have in both the other games they've played.
Rip Coco. Oh, no. I guess Cow was afraid of the counter rotation, didn't want to go up all the full way for that kill, but Coco is going to manage to make it out of that rotation safe and sound. Little Medusa. You're looking at player damage. Cow at the top with Valve right behind him. And it just seems like there's been a lot of struggle on Stellar to get good poke and good damage off in these team fights. And they've just been on the back foot. They've just been stepping back instead of stepping forward. I mean, the Hoonbot's ultis haven't really been used anything other than defensively, and this just feels like Stellar is just playing. It feels like what Armadillo was playing game 1.
Absolutely, and I was just gonna say that's exactly how it feels. It feels like Stellar has been put onto this back foot, and they're not really sure how to get themselves out of it.
I definitely like to see a little bit more coming out of them, and I think this Dumor was really. I mean, he's died twice.
Yeah, it was super greedy. It was super greedy, and like I said, it's one of those things. As soon as you put it, okay, I'm gonna get focused now. It's high risk, high reward, and sometimes it's not worth it. Especially with Doth, you're already a huge target. You basically double your kill value buying Doomor because you're just going to keep losing it every time you get picked and fight.
Yeah, I mean, it is valuable. I mean, I think it is, like, cost-effective at something like 30 stacks or something. But
yeah, it's cost-effective if it can maintain its stacks and its damage.
Yeah, Valve is going to go ahead and start taking this tower. Ulting in is aggressive and try to start off this fight. Coco on the left side, but actually Valve's already been exploded by aggressive and Jabber as they're trying to get out. There's the Final Judgment has been channeled, and it is going to hit Mike for half his health. Coco's on his own, running away in the backline, but he's going to get the Medusa ult and pick up Mike. And Stellar eSports is running around in this team fight doing whatever they want. Cow sashing in, but there is going to be the Aegis from Coco. He's going to pick up one member, but I don't know if that's going to be quite enough. Zombie on the side as Coco is all on his own. No, excuse me, Cow is all on his own. Jabber running away for his life. Puckham trying to make something happen. Sash Coco is picked up by Cow. Puckham could be the next fall as Mitchie turns around a crazy amount of damage, and it actually comes out to be all Armadillo Armada. I don't know how in the world they turned this one around.
Oh, this is so...
Blink in by Cow. He is going to die to the tower, but not enough. And actually, Mitchie takes out Jabber as well. What in the world? How is Armadillo able to turn this one around after getting completely destroyed in the early?
I honestly don't know. Honestly, it's got to come down to how these shots are being called, because just like you said, that fight was all in Stellar's favor.
Yeah. I mean, I think just like mechanical, incredible plays coming out of both Matt and Cal, able to pull that team fight win off. I mean, no objectives are taken, and the game is basically just stalled out at that point. But just a couple more autos hitting a couple players, a little bit more player damage, and that is a completely different fight.
I'm really just trying to be in Zombie's head and trying to figure out why do more was value. I love the spear call, especially on Thoth, but man, it's so tough, especially as a Thoth. You again, like I said, your positioning has to be great, and it just feels bad because he is the priority in these fights, and he does a lot of damage, but it's not really going to matter if he doesn't live.
Yeah, I mean, he really has to. He has to do a bit more. He's starting to step up. We got about 2,000 damage just off that fight alone, but Golfrey started up here by Armadillo, and I think this is gonna be pretty much uncontested. Coco might be a little bit crazy and come in, but
looking for something. But
yeah, there's just no way.
Val's not gonna let him walk in there, so.
Yeah, Armadillo and Mana now is pushed up to about a 5,000 gold lead. Jabberjaw's looking for something onto Michi, perhaps. We're trying to save Coco in the back. Valve's gonna go ahead and dive in. There's the Terrace Weston, try to get him out of dodge, and Zombie looking for something as well, but it doesn't seem like there's anything to happen. But Puckham is super aggressed on fighting in. There's the huge Hunbatsu is going to take a lot of the carriage really low. Cal's stuck in a tree. One auto is going to get the ultimate off, though. Somehow Jabber picked up by Valve. Puckham picked up as well. Cal's stuck in a tree. One more auto will do it from aggressive. He is going to fall, but they burnt so much, and Coco's dead as well. He's going to be kicked up by an overhand smash, and that's just a huge fight so far by Armadillo Armada. They've managed to completely rout him, and somehow Cal got that ulti off with 1 HP.
Oh my lord, Valve is just running these fights. Valve has done such a great job of just being in this backline and being such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, he will start that fight off and just be, poke Coco out in the very beginning of it, but more so than that, I think if there's any players to talk about, it's just somehow Cal got his ulti off and basically guaranteed an extra kill onto Puckham. I mean, what in the world?
And that's what I told you, man. Cal is so comfortable on this Naja, and I'm so glad that he played it. Like I said, it's one of his biggest comfort picks. And from what I've seen him play, he plays a ton of Naja, and he plays it really well. And the fact that he lived as long as he did, he even got the sash off on Fafnir to avoid the extra auto and buy himself enough time to try and get out, but oh man, he is just running this game. He's got Deathbringer online now, and he's going to start doing a ton of damage with these crits.
Yeah, 6,000 or so gold lead, 4 Stellar eSports. They got the Portal Demon as well. And it's really like losing hope for Stellar. I mean, they have to completely win a team fight, but they had such a good team fight just the one before last, and they got routed.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think that at this point, it kind of comes back to the point we've already talked about, that they've been on the back foot, and they don't seem to know how to play on the back foot.
Yeah, I also think, I mean, just like looking at Michi, he's done so much damage in these fights. 3rd most player damage in the game, and Coco is just not been able to participate. I mean, in the last one, he got completely zoned by Valve and then picked off by a free Jinkabang. I mean,
honestly, it also, I like to touch on this too as well. The difference between Mike playing actual mages to what he had played before. Ooh, lots of aggression here on Cal.
Yeah, Terry's Blessing going to be popped. Valve on a 1v4 to try to press in, but his team has made the rotation as well. They're going to look for something. Muratori is in the middle of the fight. Celeburst only going to land onto aggressive as Cal can use his zone. Puck him over the wall, trying to get out of dodge. Eagles rally over there, but now the Zombie is actually taking so much from Valve, and he's just getting run down in the back. Beats him and pop him. Michi actually gets soloed by Coco in the middle lane. Didn't see what happened there. Final Judgment being popped as defensively, but nothing much. Valve is still going in, still looking for that, not able to pick up the kill though, and he's going to be finally eventually cleaned up. Don't know who's going to the last hit there. He's going to try to TP cheekily to the same ward on top of himself, but he's not going to go anywhere, and they are going to pick him up. It's a 2-for-0 trade, but they're not going to be able to get anything out of it, unfortunately for them.
I was going to say, talking about the solo kill out of Coco there in mid, that was extremely well played out of him. And then on top of that, I'm trying to figure out what the greed value was and not a Valve trying to dive all the way back between Phoenixes and the Titan room.
Yeah, definitely very, very greedy. His team did not want to make the same call. Seems like a bit of a miscommunication there.
Oh, this could be bad.
Yeah, Puckham looking for something, but not quite going to find it. As they're just going to go ahead and back off.
Stellar doing a good job, even though they've been on the back foot. You know, they are able to make plays, and they've done a good job of capitalizing on the overextension of Armadillo. And I think that if there's any window for them to stay in this game, it's for them to take the overextension of Armadillo and just punish them with it. If they pick Cow in the fight like they did in that fight, they'll be able to walk away and win team fights. So it's really going to matter if they can get the comms together and kind of get it all in one fluid motion.
I definitely agree. I think it's something that they need to work on and perhaps improve. I mean, I mean, this game isn't completely out of their hands if they can make a big turnaround. Thoth starting to come online here. I mean, if and he's going to finish this route at Tahuti perhaps and possibly make a really big difference in these team fights. But I mean, a couple more solo kills like this, and they might be able to try to turn something around.
Oh, it's definitely still in their it's definitely still in their grasp. And Jabber, unfortunately, like we had said, has been on the back end of a lot of defensive Hunbat's ults. And I really, like I said, if they can start to win these team fights and they can put a little bit more control with these Hunbat's ults, I think that it's really gonna give them an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, if they could just finish off Cal, honestly, I mean, off the Hoonbut's ult, they were just one auto away for about a solid 3 seconds. Cal was able to juke around, get a heal off, and then managed to get his ult into Puckum's face. And if they can finish him off the Hoonbut's ult immediately, that could be a very, very different fight. Gold 3 started once again. 3 have already gone. Coco gonna beat immediately onto Cow's ultimate. There's the Hoonbut's ult as well. He's not going anywhere. And they've said exactly what I just said. Zombie getting CC'd out by Valve is gonna be forced to Aegis, but a huge 3-man stun off of Soul is gonna be huge. Aggressive trying to get away. Coco has been left all alone as Zombie picked off by Valve, who's made it out with full health, able to do whatever he wants. And 2-for-1 trade. Cow is picked up, but they're still going to be able to do this Gold Fury.
And honestly, Valve is at the point now where Valve is doing a ton of damage and really just able to zone away. He literally hit Zombie for 400 damage off of his ult, and it's a Wukong with 3 defensive items. It's it does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He's got the trans online, and they're looking for the long game out of this Wukong, and I love this idea out of Armadillo. If they're gonna make some mistakes, they might as well push to the point of the game where they can afford to make mistakes.
And Valve basically single-handedly subbing in, but just won that team fight for Armadillo and managed to turn that around. I mean, he came in, stopped the channeling of Final Judgment with his 3, doing about half of Muratori's health with that in an auto, and just completely killed him in the end. Portal's going to be started once again. I mean, this objective control from Stellar is not there. Armadillo has that in the bag, but they're going to go ahead and leash it. Puckum waiting.
Looking like they want to fight.
Yeah, Puckum waiting with the Eagles rally. Going to kind of stop them just by showing his face in there. Good stun. He's going to get hit by a lot. There's the root out of Terror being forced Eagles rally away. As Valve is just in there, but there's the Hoonbut's ult. He might not get his ulti off. He's going to get CC down, but he's going to manage to make it up there just barely in time as Portal Demon has been started once again. Valve sitting up there buying some time, going back onto the carries. He is going to pick up Zombie once again. There's no way if he makes it out. Here's going to be Coco with the ultimate, going to pick him up. Aggressive is going to get him anyways, but now Cal he's got one member up in the air. Coco dead to rights already. Aggressive, he's got nowhere to go, and he's going to get run down. Matt Mitchie with the credit for that kill, and this game is all Armadillo Armada.
Absolutely, and Valve literally did nothing but fight 4 people for a good 45 seconds, and they still walked away 3 for 1.
Yeah, I mean, him able to get that dash off and burn a lot of extra cooldowns, including the Medusa ult and the hammer out of the poor Fafnir. I mean, it wasn't able to do enough, and Valve is just running these team fights. I mean, we thought it would be Cal, but it's actually not at this point.
Absolutely, it's kind of what we saw in game 2. It's 100% Calvin Val. It really just making these team fights get put together, and then Valve just being in the backline, being a pain in the butt, and it's working really, really well.
Yeah, and they need to find. I mean, Stellar has to find some answer to this, whether it's in games, maybe next week's tournament or sometime later in this game. But they have to find some way to deal with Valve. If that means you got to pick like a nemesis, you got to pick a nemesis. I mean, you can't let him do stuff like this. And if he's gonna try to 1v4. I mean, you just can't let him do that. I mean, and you can't let him get free kills on Zombie 1v4.
Absolutely.
I mean, the fact that he was able to do that was utter nonsense, and it just, I mean, for all the CC they have, they just weren't able to finish off before he got in that ulti.
It looks like they're going to try and they're gonna try and two-man this T2. Honestly,
And
Soul's damage is
Souls.
gonna make sure that's gonna happen.
Yeah, she's got 5 items right now, whole item ahead of Thoth. It just does whatever she wants. Take a look at the gold graphs. 9,000 gold lead, and this one is really kind of over, I think. I don't know any way Stellar comes back from this one. T2 mid's going to fall as well, and rest in pieces, boys.
Aggressive looking for something.
Yeah, Cal, blink ultis and going to pick him up and Brennan. He's dead before he can do anything. Actually, going to get the Aegis off, but Soul in the backline. Muratori taken very, very low. There's going to be a leap by Jabber on top of the Soul ulti, but just not quite enough. They are going to eventually pick him up and trade him out for Coco, who died separately somehow. Able to survive was the front line of Stellar Esports, but I mean, still they're going to end up taking this T2 left, and they're going to continue pushing.
Absolutely, they're just going to capitalize off this. They're going to capitalize off this fire, and they're just going to keep this aggression up.
12,000 gold lead for Armadillo Armada. I think they're just going to back off at this point. They've gotten so much gold in hand, but I mean, they've really run away from this one. And
yeah, all 3 T2s in a minute is definitely enough to go back and buy some items.
Yeah, definitely they're just gonna go ahead and back, buy some more, and try to solidify this game. I don't know. Is there a way in for Stellar for this game? I mean, if there is, I don't see it.
At this point in the game, their only point of contention is fighting on Phoenix. If they get one good wipe, they can push up and take a Phoenix in return. Honestly, without it, I don't know. With the Doom Orb on Zombieland, it is tough because they're relying a lot on him to be able to pump out this damage, and the fact that he's died 7 times since he bought it, it's almost 100% worthless, like we've touched on before, and it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
they really need Puckham to do what he just did in that fight, and to let the front line dive, and for him to pick somebody in the back, and that's really the only way they're gonna.
I mean, with the Soul up in the picking phase, I guess we have to question the pick of the Thoth over the Soul.
And honestly, it was kind of questionable because we had assumed that with Soul being on the table that Stellar would have defaulted to it.
Oh no, Puckham is so out of position. Eagles rally, but this might as well hold it.
They can win off that push. Honestly, they can push up mid without the Eagles rally. It's not really gonna matter. They're gonna look to aggress this, and if they pick Coco here, it's definitely game.
Yeah, I mean, there's just Puckham just super out of position. 4-man Hoon Bottle doing so much work as well. Cal, Mitchie, they're all taking very, very low, but continuing to dive. He's going to be looking for a Thothel, only going to land out to Soul, not doing altogether too much damage. Coco with the ult actually hits onto Cal, doing a lot of work there. Jabber leaping and trying to get something done, but this Phoenix is already taken very, very low. Cal, somehow, he is actually going to fall as Mitchie's in the back doing everything he can. Zombie picks him up with an auto before he gets taken out. This Phoenix has already fallen. Jabber falls as well to Cal, and somehow a 2-for-2 trade in a 4v5. Really well done by Stellar, but I think it's just a little bit too late.
Yeah, I was gonna say all too late. I was gonna say Zombie found himself too there, but there's really not a lot that he can do at this point. They can't push off anything. They can't stop any of the other portal aggression. They have to play on the back foot. And again, I think that's kind of their biggest pitfall at this point is if they are capable of doing that, we haven't seen that from them at all.
Yeah, still a 12k gold lead for Armadillo Armada, excuse me. Still, eSports are going to get this gold for free, but I mean, once again, we're talking about too little, too late. Yeah,
it's 33 minutes in. It's really only taking it away from Armadillo more than it is
giving
them anything.
And the big thing, I mean, the only way I can possibly see is another big ulti like that by Jabbers into Amelia Thothel onto multiple members that just basically wipes the team fight. And I think that's the only way Stellar can possibly win any of these team fights at this point. The lead is just playing itself out.
Fire Giant being started by Armadillo here, and not much contention possibility.
There isn't any contest. Puckham looks to go for something, but it's already gone, and it's just questionable that he even comes through Eagles rally, but he's going to die once again before the fight even starts.
Huge
good Medusa ulti. Yeah, Hoonbot's ult as well is going to do a lot of work. Yeah, Final Judgment doing as well. Mitchie's going to be taken out by Jabber, but Muratori probably picks him up pretty soon. There's the Soul Ultimate essentially being wasted on a basically already dead Jabber, but Puckham, he's going to fall as well. Just any kind of follow-up with Mike, who's just running around in this team fight, free casting. Coco picked up by Valve, and yeah, that's going to be the final nail in the coffin.
Honestly, from comparison of game one, this Armadillo Armada is a completely different Armadillo Armada we saw in the first 2 games. This is what we saw last week.
Yeah, definitely have to agree. And we definitely saw them play. I mean, the first game was was definitely rough for them, but I think that was basically just perfect play from Stellar. And after a couple games, they just haven't shown the same strength they did in the first one, and they're going to fall down. Armadillo Armada goes 2 in a row, and maybe next week they'll see if they can three-peat.
Very well played out of Armadillo Armada. And like I said, man, Cal is comfortable on Naja, and even into the comp, he wasn't worried about it, and he played it extremely well. I say, who are you giving MVP to, Silent?
I mean, I think Valve. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
I think there's.
I agree. It's between Cal and Valve, and I got to give it to Valve.
I mean,
Valve played super well.
He doesn't quite have. I mean, definitely game 2 was all Cal, but I mean, not a Valve game. Just I mean, basically like solely winning 2 or 3 crucial team fights for his team, and if not winning them, basically stalling them out for an incredibly long amount of time. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out for Stellar. So close, but yet so far. That's it from us. Any final thoughts, Philly?
No, honestly, like I said, I'm excited to see Armadillo play again next week. Maybe we'll see him again for the three-peat. We don't know. As I say, it's kind of all up to them. But if we see him again, I'd like to see him do exactly what they did tonight. If they can change everything from game to game, that's big as a team, and that's really good to see.
Absolutely. So that's going to be Armadillo Armada's victory in that best of 3 set. They are going to win this weekly tournament on June 68th. That's going to be it from us from the casting desk. We will have Armadillo Armada versus the boys of Philly's boys, actually, Visual Obscurity. I'm gonna go ahead at some point later in the week, probably around Friday, do a bit of an analysis video on that game, which I heard was quite good as well. But that's it from us from the caster desk. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your